Hey, my name is Margaret Wong, and we are so honored today to be able to invite Mr. Dan Hanson, an old friend and a leader of the ethnic community. This sounds so weird. He's so white, and his name Hanson, but he's huge in our town. He's the founder of his own platform, and you'll hear more about that. He also is the author of two books, Murder in the Cultural Gardens and Murder in AsiaTown. He's working on his third book. So I just couldn't wait to read the third one. It's really, really nice. You can buy them in a set or you can buy them alone. But I already ordered a lot because I want to give it to in our Christmas parties. But thank you. And before I started to have a conversation with him, I just want to let you know, and I will owe you a lot of personal thank yous. He's very good in IT. He's a very good writer. He also does the International Hall of Fame. So he does a lot in this community and he helps. He never asks for anything in return. And he does the international passport program.
This is too much.
I know he's embarrassed because most of you probably already know him, but I just want you to know that when I was a young, hungry lawyer and was not who I am today, of course, I've been doing this for so long now. Dan Hanson have always helped me, have always been there. In those days, our law firm is very small. We didn't have the financial resources to advertise, to do streaming, to do interviews. He's always the one with his camera. He's one of those few people who could bring together the Arabic communities, the Israeli communities, the Eastern European communities, the Irish communities, the Brits, the Chinese, the Indians, the Pakistanis, to Afghanistan's together. It's just this.
You're too nice. You're too nice.
I could not.
I'm probably very red on the video.
No, it's okay because he knows already a lot of people. So now, in addition to what he does, he also is an author. So I'm so proud of him.
Well,
Thank you.
everything you said, you were the earliest supporter and friend, and Mom and Deb especially just loved you so much. And back when we're still small, but when you were smaller, and and of course with things like the Cleveland International Hall of Fame that Debbie and I started, you were in the inaugural class. It was a no-brainer, back in 2010. And
hundreds of people were nominated. You can't even get in until you're nominated.
Yeah.
And I used to get phone calls, can you please nominate me? And I think each community you only appoint one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was very nice. Yeah.
Each year we get over 100 nominations, 100 good ones.
Mm-hmm.
There's always someone who's crazy, and it's really tough to break down. And then
the first few years were a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learned not to do that because no one wants to sit there for 4 hours.
Right.
They want to. So we try to keep it at 6 now, and it's become.
There used to be hundreds of people get nominated, and you were so worried about hurting people's feelings.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's always tough. Many deserving people don't get in, and they're pushed to the next year or something, and you try to explain it. But what we do, we get these nominations and we cull it down. Then we send it to previous inductees like you. There's almost 100 now in the 15 years. And they'll say, oh, this person's got to go, or this person, well, maybe not this year, and things like that. So try to make it reasonable. Well, I think our interest in the international, first of all, my father, he was Polish, and even though the name is Swedish, I guess when they went through Ellis Island, they said, oh, your name is too long, and poof, you're Hanson. So he loved all the different groups. If he went to an Italian wedding, they thought he was Italian. If he went to a German, Irish, Jewish, whatever, because he knew all the songs, he was like that. Mom was purely Irish and Irish dance and all that stuff. So what happened with Cleveland People, I was a math major doing computer work at a computer business and could see the writing on the wall. Hardware is a commodity, programming, the things we did good were becoming commodities, and it wasn't going to be sustainable. But luckily, the internet's coming around. So we noticed these first Debbie and I started ClevelandSeniors.com, and we noticed if we put something that was international up, we would get a big hit. So like when the Gandhi statue was dedicated in the Cultural Garden, we got hundreds of thousands of views from India and all over the world. We thought, so we started looking around, and we found Cleveland is home to about 118 distinct ethnic groups, which is rare. I mean, very few cities have that many. Now, some are very small. You know, there's 40 Estonians, for example, and, you know, a dwindling Russian population, all that, and others are growing. But that's, and Debbie's personality was just drawn to these people and, you know, the events and all. So we'd go and we'd cover them and we'd find out all these new things. And we're just interested in them because the people are what, you know, if everyone's the same, and okay, you know, it's just not interesting. But if you can go to try a Thai restaurant or, you know, get some Croatian food or see a Buddhist ceremony or whatever, it makes the city, it makes your life more interesting, and you learn so much from it. I've learned so many things from the people with various cultures. So we just kept growing ClevelandPeople.com, and then of course it evolved with the Hall of Fame and these other projects and the cultural gardens and things like that. So
And the dinners.
oh, the dinners.
Right. We have fun with those dinners.
Yeah, we originally, it was Debbie's idea again. We call them the passports. So about 50 people, first 50 people, we'd go to various ethnic restaurants, and the chef would, or the owner would, have something special for us and explain it. So if we went to an Ethiopian place, he'd say, okay, you don't use your left hand or your right hand or whatever, and we'd learn all this stuff and hear about Ethiopia or whatever. So now, you know, it's after Debbie, we renamed it the Debbie Hanson Food Adventurers. We're starting that up again, and we had a good one last month.
That's
over
right.
Some Asian street food
And
over.
for years, we used to all go, and it's sort of fun because then you develop your own groups, and
Yeah.
then you never see each other for years, and suddenly you see each other once a month on these, and then if one of us don't show up, I say, where were you last month?
Exactly.
It always really became very nice, and we sort of age together, and it's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we're going to keep that going, and you got to take advantage of this stuff. There's a lot in this town. People will drive by, or they're afraid to go to a neighbor. I hear all the time about the cultural gardens. Well, that's in Glenville. You know, West Siders especially. I don't, you know, I don't want to go to Glenville.
For some reason, Mr. Hanson loves the Cultural Garden. In fact, both of his books.
My father is Mr. Hanson.
Oh, okay.
You-
Yeah,
you-
yes. He has helped me so much through the years, and he loves the Cultural Garden. Actually, what made you so much into the Cultural Garden?
You know,
In those
I
days,
have-
there's only a few. Remember, it's like
Yeah.
there's nowhere.
when
And
I was,
yeah.
one day I was driving 2004 or something, you know, and along East Boulevard, and I always just drive by and see that big statue in the German garden, Goethe and Schiller. It's this huge thing. I never knew what it was. I thought one day I just stopped, I looked, and, you know, I had never read any Goethe or Schiller. I didn't know how to pronounce it, all that stuff. I started learning, and I see next door there's this Rusin garden. I'm thinking, well, that's Russian. That must. And then I learned that there's the whole group called Rusins, Carpatha Rusins, and I'm learning all this stuff, and I'm thinking, this is so cool. We grew up in East Cleveland, so it was diverse in a sense. You know, it was black and white, and then moved up to the Heights, and so there's some diversity there. But then, you know, we had never met Latvians or Pakistanis or things like that. But through the gardens, we'd see this, and we'd see their historic cultural figures, and you're not taught this in school. And even if you had a geography class or something, no one knew where Lithuania was. And in reality, you know, you have to learn that on your own. And the gardens make it an easy, fun way to do that. And so, and you can see the pride in people's heritage. They're all good Americans. Like Senator Voinovich always said, people who take pride in their ethnic heritage make great Americans, because they just push it on and keep their culture going. So it's just, you learn so much. It's interesting. The people are so exciting and fun. You remember Bill Miller, of course. You had a Christmas party once. It was the first time I met him, and he wrote for the Plain Dealer, the ethnic column, and he read my name tag. You had name tags for people that says, you know, Dan Hanson. So he puts his arm around me and he starts singing Danny Boy. So that's the kind how people are in
He is
these
another
communities.
awesome gentleman.
Yeah, so
yes.
these communities are friendly, they're open, they want to share their culture. And if you're open to learning about it, so maybe you don't like the squid or something, but you try it once. You got to try it, right? I mean, and we have these opportunities here in Cleveland to do it very easily. You don't have to travel, so you're remiss if you don't, I think.
Yes. Talking about Bill Miller, do you know what happened to the out group? Like the whole group of Bill Miller, his wife, and Alex Macheski. Of course, Alex is still around. We have a whole group of 10, 20 people who always surrounds Bill and Alex. Oh, I'm so happy you mentioned his name.
Yeah, what he did with Mosaic when he was publisher,
That's right.
that really
Alex Macheski is
spearheaded
awesome.
everything.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
He had a vision. And of course, he's Serbian, but he saw the vision for these groups, and he had the power when he was publisher at Plain Dealer to create this section
He's
called
such
Mosaic.
an amazing musician also.
Oh, yeah,
Yes. He played in different clubs, he would play on a cruise, and I don't know how he even have time being the publisher of the largest newspaper in the whole state of Ohio.
His band even opened for Bob Hope once at the Ohio State Fair. So he's a man of many talents, but a visionary really with the ethnic community. So he hired Bill Miller, and people in that group were like August Post, and then another first timer like you in the Hall of Fame or an inaugural class. So we have to have that next generation to take over for people like that, and learn from them, build on it, because the print is gone. So that's what we try to do with ClevelandPeople.com is take some of that Mosaic, the print stuff, and put it there, so where we can have video and pictures and as much space as we want.
Write for the Cleveland Magazine, all those magazines.
Started writing for like PC Magazine, PC World, and national stuff and computer stuff, and then when Inside Business, Cleveland Magazine's Inside Business, I had a regular tech column because I started as a techie. I'm a math major and I have my master's in math, but you just gotta do stuff.
That's right. Awesome.
And I don't know if you sleep, because I'll see emails from you at 4 a.m. I'm thinking, is she going to bed or is she getting up? And everyone wants to see you, talk to you, honor you. Yesterday you were honored at Global Cleveland. A week or so you're going to be honored at Landerhaven. I'll be there. And how many awards you turned down? Because everyone recognizes what you've done, what you're still doing. I mean, you could retire easily, but
I have so much more to do. I mean, I just
exactly. So
and
that's
Friday,
that's
I'm
rare.
Like, oh my gosh, it's Friday. We have so much. You and I, we really have a lot to do. You have your third book to write.
There's so much going on.
I always enjoy your Christmas party. That's awesome. His Christmas party is. It's just
that's a little
party.
United
it's sort
Nations
of fun.
there.
And all that, we have such old friends there through the years. We knew each other when all of us were young, when most of us were young and poor. And in those days, it's different. Nowadays, it's like, you need to be powerful, you need to be rich, you need to be this. Even Dick Polk joined us. Dick Polk used to be like, whoa, not that he's always kind, but this guy, the whole world wants him.
That's the thing,
Cleveland.
and I give Debbie a lot of credit with her personality, because she became friends and was able to talk to people like
even
Sam
Alex
Miller.
He comes. Since
Sam
when did
Miller
Alex
came
go
once.
to things like ours? I mean, Sam
Albert
Miller comes.
Radner came.
These are awesome people.
Are people who wouldn't talk to someone like
That's
us.
Right. That's right. Yeah. And not only that, we can reach them. I mean, they give us cell numbers. You can. I was just talking to Mr. Radner last night, and he just picked up the phone. I'm like, I was speaking so silent. I cannot hear you. Who is this? I'm like,
I know.
So
and I think that might be unique to Cleveland. I don't know if you can go to other cities and common people, and I don't mean it derogatorily, can reach the ultimate, the Dick Polks, the Sam Millers, the Albert Ratners, the Alex Macheski, the Margaret Wongs now, people like that. It's just, I think
the
that's
head of UH, the head of Cleveland Clinic, Metro. I mean,
Cleveland Foundation.
Oh my
you can
Cleveland
talk
Foundation,
to these people.
Yes.
So,
and they really treat you very nice. It's not just they need something from the ethnic community, or they need they they include us, and we forgot
I think-
sometimes that we are people of color. I mean, not you, but me. You know,
Kind
that
of-
we're people of color.
We're well, I'm just different color.
Different color.
It's
yeah.
Cleveland has kind of always been an underdog,
Uh-huh.
and so I think these people who are in some of these positions are passionate. They want to see some of these underdogs succeed.
That's right.
'Cause I remember, first time we called Alex Machaski, and he met us over at a restaurant, a block or so away. We're thinking, this is Alex Machaski,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Debbie is on the phone. Who are you talking to? Oh, it's Sam.
Yeah.
Sam Miller. Well,
yeah.
people don't talk to Sam Miller.
That's right, yeah.
So it's a good city. It needs a lot of work. It needs more people like you. It needs people to take advantage of it, and it's some directions are going
we are
real
going
good. Some the other.
someplace,
Just gotta keep
yes.
fighting.
Yeah, but the problem is we are losing the corporates. A lot of these big corporates, even though they claim have corporate headquarters in still in Cleveland
Yeah.
and Columbus, in Cincinnati, but ultimately the body and soul has been to the coast, to wherever they're going. So, and then the jobs are going down. So we couldn't keep the talents. In our New York office, it's just so much easier to hire great lawyers, great paralegals, great translators.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, you have to beg them, do you mind relocating? Do you mind? And then afterwards, I sort of feel bad for them because their families are in Virginia, in somewhere, but and I don't want people just to move their family because of a job. That's
Right.
You need a community of people to raise your kids. So
And in 1950, Cleveland had 950,000 people. Now we're a third of that. And so the tax base goes away with that, the jobs, the companies and all, you can't find the people. And so the neighborhoods change, they get abandoned, and there's no income from tax, there's no growth.
That's right.
And you get these deserts then.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to get people here, need to take advantage of the neighborhoods. Ethnic neighborhoods are great. They're, we're all Americans, but it's cool to be able to go to a Little Arabia or Slavic village or Little Italy or the
or
Puerto
Latino
Rican
dance or nightclub party, and I thought
Yeah.
nightclub, it must be a lot of drugs. It turned out it's just a Latino dance, so I am getting old, I guess. I said, oh, don't go there, it's drugs, it's just people, I said, oh, okay.
And all the communities are doing things, but the broader community. So at Puerto Rican Day parade, all the Puerto Ricans and a lot of Hispanics are there, but there's no Eastern Europeans. Polish Constitution Day, all Polish. There's no Hispanics or African Americans or Middle East. So the key is, and what we try to do with Cleveland people and all, is promote it so that you get Albanians to the Juneteenth celebration and Latvians to Chinese New Year and things like that, because that's how you grow and learn, and you don't fight with people. You're not afraid of them then. So many people are just too afraid of people who
And
look
it's
different.
fun to listen to them because we get a lot of honorary councils
Yeah.
from different countries coming to our international events, and sometimes I overheard them. Oh, it's such a small country. I don't even know why they're here. I'm like, hello, it's not like your country is that big, and I'll turn around and say, what are you talking about? That's not a small country, smaller than mine. I'm like, well, it's so funny. I just love it, and most of us are women. And of course, the men don't talk like us, and then we'll say, "Oh, which country is bigger? What do you know about my country?" I'm like, I read about it. Oh, I know we are small, but we are huge in our artifacts. We're huge in our culture. I'm like, okay, so it's sort of fun. I mean, it's really not a political argument, but it's just we're very proud of who we are, And then from China, of course, we have two Chinas. We have Taiwan. We have Hong Kong. We have Chinese in Singapore, in Japan. So we always say all Indians in Singapore because all the wealthy Asian Indians, Pakistanis, they're all going to Singapore. Hong Kong people are going to Singapore also. And we have people say, I'm from Singapore. I say, well, no, you're still an Indian. So these are little things that only people like us understand. It's not so much a discrimination or it's racist. It's just who we are, which is sort of fun, I think,
It is, and
Yeah.
even within like China, of course, most of the Chinese who came here were from Canton, Guangdong,
Right,
Guangzhou. So you've got people don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go and it's Chinese New Year and they hear, Gong Hai Fat Chou.
Right.
But then you say Xin Yan Kuai Le or
That's
something.
right, that's right,
Well,
that's right,
what's Chinese?
That's right.
But it's broader, and you've got to learn this stuff, and it just makes your life richer and your city
That's
richer,
right.
and take some of the fear away.
And that's really
There's people who are
a lot
afraid to go to
of
the
fun.
cultural gardens.
Yeah.
That just drives me crazy, but it's getting so much better.
Uh-huh. And we have the annual naturalization ceremony
I love
there.
that.
You see a
That's-
lot. I forgot that Barnabas actually is ethnic. I forgot until you mentioned.
Half
He's
Serbian,
right,
half
right,
Slovenian.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We have a lot of ethnic people, but when it comes to mainstream, we forgot they are really whoever they are. So I'm
And
glad you
Voinovich
mentioned.
was smart. Somehow he kind of saved the whole area, because when he was mayor, 60s and 70s were tough on the neighborhood and the gardens and all. He found some way to sue the family of William Holden, and he won the case, and they established the Holden Trust. So that's put in millions of dollars over the years to support the Rockefeller Park and other gardens and other parks. So
I
that was
didn't know that
Voinovich.
history.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So the Holden Park Trust out there and Holden Arboretum and all that,
Uh-huh.
Voinovich sued and got this and won it, and it turned things around.
Oh, see
Yeah.
that we have to really talk. You should talk about it in your book. Yeah.
Volume 2.
That's what I'm too. Yeah. I love his books. It's easy. You read it before nighttime. It's not something you have to think like a Tanya French or something. Oh my gosh, by the time I
Yeah.
finish 20 pages, I have to go back and revisit it,
I wrote it like I like to read books. I don't like all the
Right.
fancy verbiage, showing off my
Right.
vocabulary. It's like,
You are a math genius,
it's just
Yeah.
short. It was either Hemingway or Mark Twain said, if you're writing something and you want to say it's very hot, he says cross out very and put damn, and then your editor will take it out anyway, and it'll just say it's hot, because you don't need to say it's very hot. And I was always impressed by that.
So how do you feel now in your life? At first we lost Mom, and then we lost Debbie, and I always regret, and I wrote you a note about that I should have spent more time with Debbie or Mom, and it's just you never know that
Yeah.
times go by,
Yeah. Mom was older, and so not unexpected, but Debbie was very unexpected, so that was tough. So it's tough, because they were my sounding board, and we had complementary. Debbie was a personality person. I would be content to sit at the computer and code and do things. So I've got to venture out and do more of that. So I really miss them both. The community misses them. We were at a speech the other night at the Irish Club where Debbie had been president for a couple of years even, and so many people just came up. And when we were at the Wally at City Hall, how's Debbie? Where's Debbie? If they didn't know, and say, so
Right.
it's a big loss. Plugging away kind of in their honor, like with our dinners and stuff and all. So it's a tribute to Debbie.
And for those of you who didn't follow Dan Hanson, he's the one who have to drive Mom to go see the hospital, to get the blood test, to do all those stuff, and then after Mom, actually both of them, and then after Mom, she's the one who really drove Debbie everywhere. Because by then,
you
Debbie-
understand family
Right.
as well as anyone.
Right.
You and your family are so tight, and your mom is so cool. And
My mom loved your mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They
and
were-
they look sort of alike, sort of short, heavy set, but always with beautiful.
Yeah, and just
always don't show
people
their
are just
age.
attracted
People
to
get
them,
attracted
like
to them.
magnets. Yeah.
Right, and they're smart. They look at you. My mom is just like they look at you.
Oh,
She knows
yeah.
how much money you make. She knows if you're successful. if
And you
you're
couldn't get
kind,
away
you're
with
mean.
anything.
That's right. You couldn't get away. I could never lie to my mom. I mean, never. Even my friends say, "Oh, don't not tell her that she'll find out anyway." So, my mom is.
So
something.
family,
Yeah.
and you're such a good example of that. You got a great family in there. So it's,
Thank you.
saw George yesterday speaking for you, and
Uh-huh.
Rose and Cecilia. It's just
Yeah, it's very nice.
That's-
That's one thing nice about Cleveland. We all sort of grow old together. We grew sort of up. We remember years ago what happened. Now their children and grandchildren
Yeah.
are still living in Cleveland, and just yesterday I was talking to someone, and then I reminded him, you know what, you don't have to be that professional or that formal with me. I knew you when your mother was pregnant with you, you know. So and then they were sort of embarrassed by that. I said, so that was very nice.
Yeah, that's how it is with the cultures now. You know, the old timers are there, but the cultures that are really succeeding are bringing in the young people and teach them the dances and the songs and the cooking and all
The
that stuff.
instruments and
Yes.
musical stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
but I worry
important.
about the whole Temperitza also, because I've been joining the Temperitza annual meetings, and it used to be I'll stay up at 3 o'clock, 4 a.m. in the morning to listen to them jam the music. Now it's like the attendees is the same every year. Now
Yeah.
we're also getting older, and the young ones don't have time or the energy. But I do see like the 3 or 4 year olds coming over. I'm like, oh, you know, it is.
And some groups
interesting.
will have the classes, and they really push it, but others, you have to work at it because kids are going to find other things to do, and some kids are still embarrassed if you know if your parents don't speak English at home, maybe they feel a little weird, and they, you know, I don't want
That's
to.
right.
I don't want to be branded that. I want to fit in like everyone else.
That's
But
right.
all of a sudden, they're going to find out this is really interesting, cool stuff, part of my heritage, and I want to embrace it now. But they have to provide that opportunity for them to learn their
right.
culture and carry it
And
on.
that also applied to churches, to
Yes.
temples, to mosque, because I go to St. Dominic's. Even Father Tom was saying, oh my gosh, even my own kids now with their grandkids and stuff, they don't go to church. And I'm like, whoa, 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 you're brought up to be altar boys and altar girls, you know, what happened?
I know.
It's just now they don't go. Yeah, they may go for Christmas or Thanksgiving or New Year and stuff, and then I just keep yelling and screaming. Some of them won't even let the kids be baptized in church. I mean,
Yeah,
what's going on here, you know? Yeah.
And
It's just tough.
I get to
yeah.
see a lot of the ethnic churches, you know, in our work and travels, and it's another thing with Cleveland. I have a friend who lives in San Francisco, and he'll vacation in Cleveland every 3 years or so because he loves architecture. He says we have nothing like your old churches, and he'll go down to, you know, St. Casimir's or the Mac on 42nd or St. Emmerich's and all these great. You couldn't build these churches today. And temples, you know, on 105th there when it was all Jewish back then. It's some amazing architecture and all. And once again, we drive by it and we don't take advantage of it. We're kind of spoiled in that way. But someone else comes in, and like you're saying about the small countries, I've seen about 7 or 8 heads of state come to the gardens and been there for it and filmed it and all that. And they're always blown away. The president of Latvia got teary-eyed, and he said something like, I can't believe that thousands of miles away from my little country in this place called Cleveland, Ohio, USA, you have this garden dedicated to my people and country. I mean, you know, it's on MLK, we drive by, whatever. But someone comes from there and it's, oh my God.
Oh, those gardens, if you live in Cleveland or if you don't live here, because we do have a lot of eyeballs on this program, really come visit. It's worth a visit. Each garden now, the Syrian garden, it's just the flowers are blooming. It's just so much more. And now people are actually raising the Vietnamese garden. They're really doing well with raising the money. But it only really happened in the last 10, 20, 25
Right.
years. And it's still growing. It's just an amazing.
And each one has a story. You know,
Right.
the Chinese has a story because it was a gift from Taipei.
Yes.
You know, it's not
Of
PRC.
course, we fight over it because then if
Exactly.
Taipei have it, why not PRC? You know, and then if PRC does it, why not Taipei or Taiwan?
Exactly. And
So
it's
sort of
the
fun.
tricolor flag of Vietnam, not the People's Republic of
That's
Vietnam.
right.
And but what's cool though in the gardens is here, like here's Armenia, right across the street is Azerbaijan, right here is Turkey. So in the real world, those three, you know, forget about it.
That's
But
right.
the motto of the gardens is peace through mutual understanding, and they get along. We now have a Palestinian garden, and it's a stone's throw from the Hebrew garden. You know,
It's just the people you can put together in the room is just amazing. You know.
it's one of those things
yeah.
you have to be out there. You
Right.
know, even though I'm a math geek, I'd like to sit there at the computer. You have to be out, and you go out there and you meet the people, and you say, so many similarities. There's some differences, but I enjoy the differences and learning them. But we're all pretty much the same in many ways. And you know, some people call this an empanada, some call it an egg roll, some call it a pierogi. But you know, each culture has something,
One
and it's
thing nice about Mr. Hanson, Dan Hanson, is that whenever I need anything, I always, call Dan. You know, Dan will help us. Dan will do this for us. Dan will do that for us. Just really
well,
nice.
right back at you. I mean, you've been the most loyal and longtime supporter and friend, so I can't say enough. And I know how Debbie and Mom felt about you too. So we appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. Mutual admiration fan club.